Well, good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Finance and Tax Tips for Small Businesses webinar organized by the Hong Kong Association of Southern California. I'm Chris Chan, and I'm your MC for today. Today's agenda is very exciting. It's going to be very educational. We have, first off, the president of the Hong Kong Association of Southern California, Wilson Tang. He is here with us today. Hello, Wilson.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon to our out-of-state members. Welcome everyone to the Finance and Tax Tips webinar. I'm glad to see you all joining today's event.
Okay, Wilson, thank you. And also joining us today is Derek Ng. He's president of Strategic Horizon Incorporated, who's a board member and also chair of the Young Executive Club. Hello, Derek.
Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. Happy Friday. I have some exciting news about our newly formed Young Executive Club. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. And also, to give us the outlook of a post-COVID economy in the U.S. and Hong Kong, we have Ralph Chow. He's Regional Director of the Americas of Hong Kong Trade Development Council. Hello, Ralph.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon. Greetings from New York.
Joining us all the way from the East Coast. And also after that will be finance tips for small businesses and professional businesses, mortgage financing for business owners with alternative income or asset reserves. We'll be joined by Melissa Fung. She's Vice President and Branch Manager of Cathay Bank. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Can't wait to share all this great information with you.
Yeah, we can't wait either. Melissa's also chapter leader of the Hong Kong Association's Orange County chapter, and she's will also be joined by Cindy Mo, financial advisor of Cathay Bank Wealth Management. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna share some information about investing in pandemic.
All right, great. Now, last but not least, we have tax planning ideas for 2020, Year of the Mouse or the Rat, matters of life, death, and taxes, dangers, and opportunities. We'll be joined by Dennis Lee, Managing Director of Dennis M. Lee and Associates. He's also the Executive Vice President of the Hong Kong Association. Hello, Dennis.
Good morning, good afternoon to our fellow Southern California members, as well as the National U.S. Hong Kong Business Association members. I'm going to talk about my most favorite subjects, numbers. So can't wait to share with you.
Great. We look forward to hearing about all that. We just want to have some housekeeping reminders as we get started on this webinar. After the speakers present, we'll have a Q&A time at the end of the webinar. And if you have any questions during the webinar or while they're speaking, please send in your questions anytime to the chat panel. The panelists will receive those questions directly. Unfortunately, we'll only have time for one question for each of our guests at the end. Today's event will also be recorded for sharing on the Hong Kong Association of Southern California's website and social media channels. Now, let's start off by introducing the chair of the Young Executive Club. The Hong Kong Association recently formed the Young Executive Club. I'd like to invite Club Chair Derek Ng to tell us more about what's going on there. Derek?
Hello, everyone again. Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Derek Ng. I'm a board of director and chair of a Young Executive Club of the Hong Kong Association of Southern California. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our newly founded Young Executive Club. Is created by the Hong Kong Association of Southern California to provide a place to bring together our entrepreneur, founder, and senior executives, and is dedicated to improve the business and practices through shared experiences and insights. We focusing on the young executive to provide a place to them to learn from their peers, network, and build their business practices with exclusive platforms. Please check us out. And we are currently running a promotion for $500 for lifetime member, only $500 for lifetime. So you can reach out to me or our executive director, Heidi, for more details. Thank you, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Derek. Next, I'd like to invite the president of the Hong Kong Association of Southern California, Wilson Tang, to introduce our first speaker, Ralph Chow, Regional Director of the Americas of the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. So Wilson Tang, please take it away.
Thank you, Chris. Before I introduce Mr. Ralph Chow, may I take this opportunity to thank the support of his organization, the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, for sponsoring today's event. Thank you again. It is my honor to introduce our first panel speaker, Mr. Ralph Chow, who is the Regional Director, Americas of the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, HKTDC, the statutory organization responsible for promoting and developing Hong Kong's external trade. Mr. Chow is responsible for the formulation and implementation of the Council's promotion activities in Americas, with a view to fostering the business relationship between Hong Kong and the economies in North America and Latin America. Mr. Chow joined Hong Kong TDC in 1986 and moved up the rank to his current position. He has extensive experience working both in Hong Kong and overseas, including Japan and Australia. He was a director of Japan stationed in Tokyo from 2002 to 2005, and director of product promotion at the head office in Hong Kong afterwards until July 2014, when he has transferred to the New York office as Regional Director Americas of HKTDC. Today, Ralph will share with us the topic about the outlook of a post-COVID economy in the United States and Hong Kong. Let us welcome Mr. Ralph Chow.
Thank you, Wilson, for the kind introduction. I will use the share screen. Well, I think many of us may be suffering from the unprecedented economic downturn brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic this year. But then, as the traditional Chinese wisdom tells us, whenever there is crisis, there will always be opportunities. So I just want to highlight a few major opportunities for you to share so that you will be able to take a positive attitude towards encountering the adverse condition. Well, during the pandemic, obviously, you can imagine that the online shopping business is doing pretty well, including the e-commerce and so on. In the US, it is the Amazon.com, which has been doing exceptionally well. So that's why Jeff Bezos, he's still the richest man on earth, despite the fact that his ex-wife had taken a big chunk of his asset last year after the divorce. Is still the richest man on earth with an asset of about 200 billion US dollars. Similarly, in China, the e-commerce and online shopping platforms, they are also doing exceptionally well. First of all, we have the Tmall from Alibaba. Because during the pandemic, a lot of the households are being kept indoor during the lockdown. But still, they need to have the daily necessities and they need to order their food and so on. So that's why the online business has been going on very well. Apart from this pandemic, Tmall is also doing exceptionally well on what they call the Singles Day on the 11th of November. This is a day for them to remind those who are still single to reward themselves by doing the shopping for themselves. So the recent Singles Day sales amount comes up to 80 billion US dollars for just one day's purchase. So you can imagine the tremendous consumption power in China, particularly through the online platform. Similarly, the JD.com from Tencent, they are also providing the online shopping platform, and they are doing exceptionally well as well. In Hong Kong, we have the Hong Kong TV Mall. Again, during the pandemic, their sales has been boosting. And then they have been selling a lot of the food items, including the facial mask through their online platform. Another sector that has been doing well is the video conferencing app. You may be familiar with Zoom. During the pandemic, we have been using Zoom to conduct many of the virtual meetings. And in Hong Kong, the richest man is Mr. Li Ka-shing. He actually invested in Zoom back in 2013, 2 years after the company was established. And now he is still holding about 10% of the stake, which worth about 11 billion US dollars. Guess what? $11 billion is actually constituting 1/3 of the total personal asset of Mr. Li Ka-shing. So you can imagine that if you have a good foresight, then you will be able to bring you a very good fortune in a number of years, particularly during the crisis. More importantly, I think we should always look at the new opportunities arising from the overseas market, particularly for the Chinese market. In the first quarter of this year, of course, China was hardly hit by the pandemic. So the GDP for the first quarter dropped by 6.8%. But soon afterwards, the Chinese economy rebounded. And in the second quarter, it has already turned back to positive growth at 3.2%. And in the third quarter, it jumped up to 4.9%. In fact, the Chinese market has now become the most important overseas market for a number of US companies, including, for example, Apple for the cell phone and the accessories, and also Tesla for the electric car, and GM for the automobiles, because China is now the largest automobile market in the world. So I think with all these opportunities, one way you can tap these opportunities is to make use of the Hong Kong TDC's trade services, because the Hong Kong Trade Development Council is a trade promotion body for Hong Kong, and we will be able to put you in touch with a lot of the business opportunities in Hong Kong and in the Asia Pacific region. There are also additional advantages for utilizing the platform of Hong Kong, because Hong Kong can offer you the low and simple tax system. From this ease of paying taxes ranking, you can see that Hong Kong is high on the ranking hierarchy because we provide very convenient tax filing system, and also the tax rate in Hong Kong is very low. For company tax, it's only 16%, and for personal tax, it's only up to 15%. So Hong Kong is also enjoying a very good ranking in the both tax filing system and also in the tax rate. So that's why a lot of the overseas companies, they are making use of this advantage of Hong Kong to conduct their business. On the other hand, Hong Kong is also a very important international financial center. We are the third largest financial center in the world, just after London and New York. And we are also a leading IPO center. A lot of the international brands like Prada, Samsonite, and so on, they are having their companies listed in the Hong Kong stock market. And of course, we also offer the largest offshore capital raising hub for the Chinese companies as well. And most importantly, if you are trying to approach the Chinese market, Hong Kong is the largest offshore renminbi market. So it can provide you the necessary renminbi for your operation in the Chinese market. You may like to know that a lot of the investment from China or into China, they are actually going through Hong Kong. As a matter of fact, about 60% of the mainland's outward foreign direct investment, it goes through Hong Kong. Similarly, for overseas investment going to China, about 60% of them also goes through Hong Kong. And most importantly, if you want to approach the Chinese market, there is a very good niche market that you can't afford to miss. This is the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. As you can see, the population in this Greater Bay Area is about 17 million, about twice the size of the population in California. And most importantly, all the people here, they can be regarded as the middle class income group, so they have good consumption power. So this is a very good niche market for you to approach if you want to penetrate into the Chinese market. And you probably are aware that the Silicon Valley in the Bay Area in the US, it serves as the growth engine for the whole region in the Bay Area. Similarly, in the Greater Bay Area in the Guangdong province, Shenzhen is regarded as the Silicon Valley for China and also for this Greater Bay Area. So again, it serves as the growth engine for the whole region and even for China. So that's why this is a very important economic region. You can also imagine that if in your Silicon Valley, next to it, if there is New York serving as the financial hub for the region, and also you have the Las Vegas serving as the entertainment hub for the region as well, then the whole Bay Area will become even more attractive. Likewise, in the Greater Bay Area, apart from Shenzhen, which serves as the Silicon Valley for China, we have Hong Kong, which is one of the most important financial centers in the world. And we also have Macau, which is a very important entertainment hub. And you probably may know that the turnover of the casinos in Macau had already surpassed that of Las Vegas. So this is a very important entertainment hub for the region. And most importantly, we also have the manufacturing centers in the region, including Dongguan, Huizhou, and so on. And we have highways, high-speed train, and also well-connected subway system to connect all these cities with Hong Kong. All these cities are within the range of 1 hour's transportation time. So you can see the comparison of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Bay Area and the other Bay Areas in the world, including the Tokyo Bay Area, the New York metropolitan area, and also the San Francisco Bay Area. The Greater Bay Area is going to become a very important economic region in China. And if you have the intention to approach the Chinese market, obviously this is a good starting point, particularly if you can make use of the Hong Kong platform. For the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, we are a trade promotion body for Hong Kong. So we have a very strong data bank, including 130,000 Hong Kong companies in our data bank. So we can provide you the business matching service, particularly during the pandemic. We are providing the customized business matching service free of charge to you. So if you want to get connected with your potential business partner in Hong Kong, please feel free to contact us, and we will be happy to provide you the free customized business matching service. We organize a lot of international trade fairs and also international conferences in Hong Kong. And because of the pandemic, many of these events have turned virtual. One of the important conference that is relevant to your business will be the Asian Financial Forum, AFF, which is scheduled to be held in January from the 18th to 19th in Hong Kong. Previously, we had invited a lot of the world-renowned speakers, including Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, and also Jim Rogers, Lawrence Summers, and so on. So next year, it will also go virtual, and you are most welcome to attend this event, even without flying to Hong Kong. We maintain 3 offices in the US, one in New York, one in Chicago, and another one in Los Angeles. So the nearest office to you may be the Los Angeles office, and the contact details is provided in this slide. So if you have any inquiries or you want to get connected with Hong Kong, please feel free to contact our colleagues at the Los Angeles office of the Hong Kong TDC. So that concludes my brief presentation. Back to you, Chris. Thank you.
Sorry about that, unmuted. Thank you very much, Ralph. Just wanted to let everybody know, if you have a question for Ralph, please go ahead and type that into the chat panel and he can answer that, or we can possibly address that at the end of the webinar. What we'd like to, I want to mention something real quick here. Derek Ng has a prior engagement, so he may have to leave the webinar early. But if you do have a question for him about his business or or the Young Executive Club, you can go ahead and reach him looking at the HKASC website. Now I'd like to bring back Wilson Tang to introduce our second and third speakers from Cathay Bank. Wilson, take it away.
Thank you, Chris. Now let me take a moment to introduce our two panel speakers from Cathay Bank, namely Melissa Fang, Vice President Branch Manager of Cathay Bank, and Cindy Mo, Financial Advisor of Cathay Bank Wealth Management. Melissa has 10 years service with Cathay Bank. She has extensive experience in all types of financial services, including personal and business banking, lending, wealth management, and international banking. Melissa specializes in supporting local business through Cathay's lending. She also specializes in Cathay's alternative income and asset reserves mortgage financing. Melissa enjoys helping clients find their financial solution and fulfill their financial goals. For Cindy, Cindy has 8 years experience in Cathay Wealth Management. She's a seasoned financial advisor. Today, Melissa will talk about finance tips for small business and professional business, mortgage financing, program for business owners with alternative income and asset reserves. And after that, Cindy will share with us about investing during the pandemic. Now, let me pass the floor to Melissa and Cindy.
Okay, great. Thank you, Wilson, and good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to be here today. We're going to go over some suggestions and tools for a business owner, especially during pandemics. I'm going to share some information through a PowerPoint. I'm going to share a short message about our bank information. So Cathay Bank has been established in 1962 at Chinatown, Los Angeles. This year, we're celebrating our 58th year anniversary. We have a wide range of financial services with location in 9 states in the US, a branch in Hong Kong, and 3 representative offices in Beijing, Shanghai, and Taipei. We also just celebrate our 30-year anniversary of listing on NASDAQ. We actually got voted the top 20 banks in America for 5 years in a row by Forbes magazine. We focus on providing the best solution to our clients. We are experienced in assisting businesses and our community, helping them grow and be successful. So first, I want to tell you about how business line of credit could help the business a lot. For any company trying to maintain consistent growth, finding a way to pay off short-term costs without breaking the bank is a crucial element of success. One of the easiest and most flexible ways to do this is to apply for a business line of credit, also known as the working capital line of credit. So working capital is a matrix used to determine the financial health of a business by evaluating its current assets, subtract its current liabilities. In other words, take your liquid asset that can be converted to cash within a year, something like account receivable and inventory, then subtract them from your financial obligation, something like account payables and accrued expenses. So the result is measurable of short-term liquidities. That's the net working capital. So this matrix is very important to the bank because it gives them a good idea of how company ability to pay off its debt. For a business, this number offers a reliable estimate of how much money is spent regularly and how quickly it can grow without incurring short-term debt that it cannot be paid back. So once you understand the net working capital, the next step is knowing how to turn that understanding into action. So unless your typical asset conversion cycle is more than 30 days, paying off money expenses can be difficult. So this is where the credit line of credit comes in. So a strong business credit history can help you grow and expand your business. Most lending institutions and insurance companies rely on business creditworthiness when setting terms, interest rate, insurance premium, and when considering a business relationship. So most importantly, building a positive credit history for your business will make it easier and cheaper to get credit when you need it. So it's worth the effort to monitor closely. So here's a few tips how you can build credit for your business. So first you might be asking, does my personal credit score affect my business credit? Often the answer is yes. If your business is very new with little payment history, lender will conduct a personal credit check. That's why you want to use your credit wisely. You will need to open a few business credit accounts, use them, pay them back on time to show that you have ability to repay. Then you want to pay bills on time, just with the personal credit, making late just like the personal credit. So making late payments on your bill will leave a negative mark on your business credit, especially if creditors choose to report you. So last but not least, someday, even after you pay an account in full and do not currently need the account, think twice before you close it. Closing an account may have an adverse effect on your business credit rating. It may also limit the amount of credit you have at your disposal. So year 2020 is a unique year where we are still getting through the pandemic. It can be challenging for some small businesses especially, to maintain in the market. So on the other hand, it creates some opportunities for other businesses. So no matter what, extra cash to cover unanticipated expenses or purchase inventory, supplies, equipment, or expanding of business, extra cash flow is sure a solution for most business owners. So with that, Cathay Bank offers several affordable working line of credits to help small business prosper and grow. The 3 smart loans have simplified underwriting and documentation requirements, reduced the collateral, and streamlined application process for profitable businesses with good business and personal credit history. So this is the 3 programs we have, the Smart Micro, Smart Capital, and Premium Smart Capital Loan. So majority of the financial institution requires minimum of 3 years of established business and tax return documentation. We offer as little as 1 year only, as you can see on the screen. And for the first 2 listed programs, where Smart Micro and Smart Capital offer a slightly higher loan amount, it does not require tax return as well. So most startup business will borrow from credit card at a very high interest rate. It could go up to 25 APR, or if it's not more, or any other option for business owner. They may be cashing out from their own home. So as you see from the list, the program is easy application. It only requires minimum FICO score at 620, and no collateral required. So normally, compared to other banks, they will review both business and guarantor tax return, but this is going to be streamlined from our program. So we only need basic information documents and recent bank statements and application form. So starting at a smaller loan amount, especially for startup business, will help them build up their lending credit by keeping and showing a well repayment history. So for example, bank will willing to increase more loan amounts and lower the interest rate for future for businesses who show sufficient and timely repayment record. So this simplified program also offers higher loan amounts for business established a little bit longer, minimum for 2 or 3 years or more. It could go up to 250,000. And of course, we also do other lendings as well, but these are the simplified program. So we try our best to find a way to take care of our local businesses and offering them simple yet immediate assistance. Just because we understand specific needs of some professional businesses, including physician, dentist, optometrist, CPA, or attorney, we tailor additional program just for them. So not only during the pandemic, but for the business to the next level. So these are 6 reasons to consider a professional loan with us. It helps you manage your business cash flow if you want to do some equipment purchases, or if you're actually acquiring another practice office, or the business owner want to buy the commercial property. They can use that as a marketing funds for their business, as well as adding personnel to their business. The line of credit could go up to 500,000, as well as of a loan for $1 million. So additional to above mentioned, we also support all types of business financing at a higher loan amount, depends on the project. We actually do commercial real estate, construction, commercial working capital, and government sponsor SBA loan, all that you can name it. And as I mentioned earlier, credit card actually repayment interest rate may be very high. So some business owner may cash out from their home in order to maintain the business. With that, we tailor a special residential mortgage program. Works really well for those who does not have a 2-year tax return, W-2 or stable income, or a regular mortgage program, or just for someone who actually simply want to invest in real estate. So we have something called the alternative income mortgage, as well as the home equity line of credit. So this program works perfectly for the self-employed or business owner. It could be owner-occupied or investment property. It finance up to 60 to 70% loan to value, with a loan amount up to $2 million for mortgage and $1 million for a home equity line of credit. So it's a simple options that we don't require tax return like we normally do. So we actually have an additional option where you can strictly be qualified with the assets reserve from your liquid funds in a saving account, as well as non-liquid funds like your retirement or investment stock account, also equity from other property that you have in the United States. So with all these benefits, the interest rate for this program is great as well. It's not like a credit card up to like 15 to 25% APR, not at that at all. It's very fair pricing. So and now I really want to quickly just share other great service businesses that may need for, they could look for international banking and foreign exchange that we are really strong at Cathay Bank here. Our international banking and finance services help businesses to do business across the market with ease and confidence, including Import-Export LC, business financing, and lending trade finance through loans. It gives them a benefit of strengthening their cash flow, maximize bargaining power, strengthening the buyer-seller relationship, and their credibility of timely payment. So it's a great tool that they can definitely talk to us and see how they can expand their business globally. And our foreign exchange service make it very easy and convenient to invest in foreign currency. We have global payments remittance services, as well as multi-currency account. So customers or business customers, they can actually wire in and set the account in a foreign currency here in the United States with us here at Cathay Bank. And we have up to 60 more currency. We could name them all that you could go around the world. And we have foreign exchange hedging risk management strategies advices for our clients as well. So now, last but not least, we are currently running a promotion for businesses. So it gives a no account maintenance fee and incoming wire fee. Their interest rate lower for them to apply those loans that I mentioned with them, as well as a merchant credit card services give them up to $400 credit back and many more. So it is a perfect time that we want to help our clients on their business banking experience, help them on cost and time saving, give them convenience and effectiveness, while we can actually leave them the time to take care of their own business. So thank you for your time, and this is it all for me. Here's my contact information. If you ever have further questions or want to touch base, please feel free to contact me. And now I'm going to pass the mic to Ms. Cindy Mo, our Cathay Bank Wealth Management Financial Advisor. She will share tips on how to invest in the pandemic.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. This is Cindy from Cathay Wealth Management team. I've been with the team for 8 years now, and today I'm here to share some tips that how to help people to invest during the pandemic. Also, I want to share some potential that I see in the equity market, because a lot of people are investing in the stock market right now, and also mutual fund as well. So I just kind of share some ideas. So conclusion is into 3 points that we're seeing the economy recovery in progress right now. There's a lot of medicine, science, and human ingenuity, and we see significant progress has already been made in the fight against COVID, with all the scientists, government agency, and private industry working all together to understand the virus. And we're trying to create and test potential vaccine. And so hopefully the vaccine will come out. The timing is still unclear, but hopefully earlier next year of the next presidential term. And also then another potential we see is it's the Federal Reserve. The U.S. Federal Reserve it's planning to keep the interest rate at the lower level or almost near zero at the first 2 years of Biden's term. Beginning of year of 2020, we see around 3.6 trillion money just sitting in the money market that's waiting to be invested. And as of today, we're seeing about 4.3 trillion in the money market that's making no interest. So we assume the money is probably going into somewhere, probably either the real estate market or the equity market. So that has to be invested. The next thing we see potential in the equity market is stocks are historically cheaper than bonds. And yes, stocks have outperformed bonds over most time of periods. So government-related bonds are not only overbought right now compared to stocks, but it has a lot of pressure right now. And at this point, I also want to talk a little bit about risk management, how we do differently than people investing by themselves. I think one of the key is diversification. We try like what we say, we don't put all the eggs into one basket. And then also we need to rebalance our portfolio by quarterly basis. For example, if you bought into one fund and the value it grows from 5% to 10%, that's when we rebalance. I think it's a pretty good technique that we can lock in the gains and shift that into a lower price, the sector. And also, I want to also mention for investment banking and some insurance company, if there's like a commitment for certain terms, they actually be able to eliminate some risks and even principal protection in that portfolio. I think that's it. So I'm going to pass the floor back to Chris.
All right, Cindy Mo, thank you very much. And Melissa Fung, both of Cathay Bank, thank you for those useful finance tips and that information. Now I'd like to invite Hong Kong Association President Wilson Tang back again to introduce our last speaker, Dennis Lee. He's managing director of his CPA firm, Dennis M. Lee and Associates. Wilson Tang, please take it away.
Hey, thank you again, Chris. Our last but not least speaker who is going to share with you some tax tips is Mr. Dennis Lee. Dennis is the managing director of Dennis M. Lee and Associates in Irvine, California. He's also the past president and executive vice president of Hong Kong Association of Southern California. Dennis specializes in the US and international accounting and taxation areas. He has over 31 years of experience in public accounting and has served corporate partnership, LLC, and individuals. Dennis has extensive experience in taxation area that covers a variety of industries, including but not limited to manufacturing, retail, wholesale, distribution, professional services, construction, financial institution, e-commerce, and technology. In addition, his expertise includes US and international accounting, tax compliance and planning areas, and corporate mergers and acquisitions. His previous experience, including McCarthy and Poland, Ernst & Young LLP, Deloitte & Touche LLP in Los Angeles, and PricewaterhouseCoopers in Hong Kong. Dennis devotes and provides his undivided professional and personal attention and devotion with domestic and international resources to his clients. Today, the topic that Dennis will share with us is Year 2020, Year of the Rat, Matters of Life, Death, and Taxes, Dangers and Opportunities, Tax Planning Ideas for 2020. Let's welcome Mr. Dennis Lee. Dennis, I think you may have to unmute it.
Okay, all right. Now you can hear me, right? Okay. Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Wilson. Thanks, Ralph, and Melissa, and our fellow panel speakers. Let me do some technology yet. Okay, I have to share screen, of course. Here we go. All right, we are on the way. So as I'm a number cruncher, I know that we are down to the last 15 minutes, so I may go at a little bit faster speed so that we'll be on time. So I'm going to go over this. This is, again, disclaimers as advised by my legal counsel. All right, let's get on to it. So year 2020, year of the rat, as we know, has been a year of roller coaster rides and plenty of downs and not many ups. We have COVID-19, we have economy downturn, we have some election hiccups and all those goody things. On the other hand, we always look at the bright side. As Ralph mentioned that there's a Chinese character, that means that, you know, if there are dangers, there are also opportunities. So as we know now, we have two potential vaccines that will going to help us, and hopefully the first one, I think they're seeking emergency clearance, as far as I know, reading it this morning, will be available by the end of the year. So we'll see how it goes, but at least we see the light of the end of the tunnel. So, okay, now why I named this, you know, my title is a quotation by our founding father, Benjamin Franklin. If you don't know who he is, just look at the $100 bills, which I don't have in my pocket, but that's him. He's a founding father. There are two things certain in life, death and taxes. All right, let's move on to that. As we all know, we are having a new president, Joe Biden. President-elect will become the 46th president on January 20th, 2021. And now everyone is asking about, okay, he has talked a lot about the tax bills. So what's it going to be like? So his proposal is to raise taxes by nearly 3.5 trillion, again, with a T, not a B or M, over the next 10 years on corporations and individuals earning more than $400,000 annually, which did not include me or does not include me. So it may affect, of course, most of my clients. So let's talk about clear planning ideas. I'm going to narrow it to three because so many of them. So first of all, long-term capital gain. My advice or tax planning ideas is to try to recognize as much long-term capital gain in 2020, because we're still at the 20%. Versus there's a potential under the Biden's tax proposal is going to be 39.6%, again, to be decided or to be determined. Plus also there's Obama tax, we call the net investment income tax of 3.8%. And second one is to really prepare your itemized deductions, which means charitable contributions, mortgage interest, not quite state income tax because it's being capped at $10,000 per year. The reasons is because if we speed it up this year, we may still have a tax benefits of up to 37% versus that, you know, that's going to be a cap if, again, the Biden's tax proposal is going to be effective. It's going to be only limited the cap at 28% in 2021, again, to be decided. And last but not least, gifting and death in 2020. The estate and gift tax exemptions for this year is $11.58 million. And proposal under Biden's presidency is $3.5 million in 2021. So again, that, you know, we are encountering almost a similar situations way back in 2010. There is no estate tax in that year. So now the question is, I know that's a James Bond movie, No Time to Die or Time to Die. So, I mean, that's not something we can plan for, but again, you know, something to consider about, and also gifting as well. All right, let's go over the tax proposal in details, a little more details. The tax rate on ordinary income for individuals in 2020 is, the highest rate is 37%. The 2021 and thereafter is going to go up to 39.6%, which is basically what we have during the Obama presidency. And that is for income, of course, for over $520,000 for single taxpayer, or $620,000 for married filing jointly. Also, the payroll taxes will be increased by lifting the cap on the Social Security tax for wages over $400,000 in 2021 and thereafter. And also that we do enjoy, we call the qualified business income deduction. 20% of it will be phased out if the earnings is more than $400,000 in 2021 and thereafter. All right. Also, itemized deductions is something that, you know, some people enjoy it, some people are enjoying the standard deductions. So for 2020, we take the greater of the standard deductions or itemized deductions, which means mortgage interest against state and local income and property tax, unfortunately kept at $10,000, and charitable contributions. And 2021, there's going to be a 3% limitation kicks in. And also, and you only can enjoy up to 28% of tax benefit limitation if your income is over $400,000. Bear in mind that, again, your highest income tax rate in 2021 and thereafter may be 39.6%. So you do have a little bit of haircuts because you're limited to only 28% tax benefit limitation if your income is over $400,000. Okay, let's go to the corporate income tax. For now, the flat income fixed rate is 21%, which is down from 35% in the good old days. And also, we don't have another tax scheme, which is called the alternative minimum tax. Under the Biden's tax proposal, the corporate income tax rate will be raised to 28%, which is from 21% in 2020. And also, they're going to bring back the alternative minimum tax rate of 15%. All right, estate tax, which I just talked about, the tax rate is 40% if your total estate, which whatever the deceased assets is worth more than $11.58 million. And 2021 and thereafter, the tax will be increased to 45% if the total estate worth more than $3.5 million, which is down from $11.58 million. But let me bring you some good news. Of course, you know, we talk about all those increased tax rates and all those things. On the other hand, that under the Biden's proposal, we do have a new tax credits for 2021 and thereafter. If I may bring it to attention, that tax credit is always better because they reduce tax liability dollar for dollar. First of all, is the expanded child tax credits of $3,600 per child as compared with $1,000 and also fully refundable. And also they have an expanded child and dependent care credit of $8,000 or $16,000 per family, which is really up from $3,000 in 2020. And the credit of $5,000 for caregivers of elderly relatives. And also they do have first-time home buyers credits of $15,000. And also they have expansions of the premium tax credits for health plans. And they also have a renter's credit and expansions of the earned income credit to the older taxpayers. So if I can bring it to attention that whatever the proposed new tax law changes under Biden presidency is still up in the air. Of course, we have to wait until that he really sworn in and become our president and have to go through all those bureaucracy to get tax, all those tax bill passed. So you should consult with tax professionals about the potential U.S. income tax impacts for 2021 and thereafter. To sum it up, so as I say, 2020 may be a year of chaos and challenges. There's always a light at the end of a tunnel. Not quite a tunnel, but I'm a James Bond fan, so I picked this, just for the sake of it. And let me bring you the good things. Yes, 2021 is coming. Believe it or not, we cannot wait. I know that all of us. It's only 41 days from today. And Year of the Ox, I believe that, with 2 vaccines, we can see it now, shall be a prosperous and healthy year. So again, thank you very much. Xie xie and gracias. Thanks for letting me to share a little bit of, proposed tax laws changes under the Biden presidency. So thanks again.
Thank you very much, Dennis. We really appreciate, and we're all hoping for a prosperous new year and a healthy new year too. Now we are going to get to the Q&A session. We have some people who have offered questions to our panelists. The first one we're going to go to Ralph. One of the members of the audience asked, I used to attend the Hong Kong Forum every year. Will there be any networking opportunities in this year's virtual forum? Ralph?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the interest in the Hong Kong Forum. Absolutely. This year, the Hong Kong Forum will go virtual, but then we have already organized some special program for the American audience so that the Hong Kong speakers can speak to the American audience and they can have interaction among each other. Apart from that, by joining the Hong Kong Forum, you will have access to the Hong Kong business associations in the US. In the US, we have altogether 12 Hong Kong business associations with a membership network of over 3,000 people. On top of that, all the Hong Kong business associations around the world is grouped under the umbrella of the Federation of Hong Kong Business Associations Worldwide. And that can bring you to the network of more than 46 Hong Kong business associations in 35 countries with over 13,000 members. So this is a tremendous network that you can tap on. And a lot of these members can be your potential business partners as well.
Okay, thank you for that, Ralph. I know that nothing like going to Hong Kong, but it seems like there are a lot of options in the meantime to network and connect. We'll go to our next question for Melissa, and this one comes from Ted Langs. Unfortunately, he's had to leave early, but do you consider K1 income for the home equity lines of credit?
Right. So for both our mortgage and home equity line of program, since it's alternative income, yes, we have options for that for any type of income or assets. So let me kind of just say this. So it could be borrower providing an alternative income documentation, or they could have extra reserve in saving accounts or stock investment accounts that I mentioned earlier as an option. So it's case by case, and I can run some numbers with them and go through all the details with them if they're interested. And yes, the answer is yes. There's an opportunity for that. Yes.
Yeah, and if anybody would like to contact Melissa later, the PowerPoints and the recording will be available on the Hong Kong Association website, so you can get her contact information. Okay, our next question is for Cindy. Cindy, the question came up, what type of investment would you suggest for a casual investor in the coming year?
For casual investor, I do see a lot of attention that has brought to like a technology sector or like a large cap sector linked to the S&P 500. Also, after the COVID, I see a lot of attention that has been brought to the healthcare sector. But again, my suggestion is to investor is to invest something they're familiar with, include like a company history and the company's cash flow and how much debt they have, including like a volatility in that IPO company. And again, everyone is their time horizon and risk tolerance is not the same. Also, their expectation of return on that, I would suggest them to talk with a financial advisor. Yes.
Okay, and next, a question for Dennis. We have a question from Bill Eng. Let's see, I lost it here. It was a question about Biden's plan on a step-up tax basis. What's expected there? Are you familiar?
Well, yeah, actually, Biden's tax proposal does mention about they're going to eliminate the step basis, which I'm afraid I won't be able to explain in about 1 minute. So basically, it's one of those things that during when you have an estate, all the inheritance that passing over to whoever the beneficiary is going to have a step-up basis of the appreciated assets. So Biden's tax proposal actually does talk about that. But again, that also I know that Bill also mentioned that this is almost like a Robin Hood in the novel. So as a matter of fact, that maybe during this crisis, we do need a Robin Hood. So the matter is, I guess the question is, what's the probability on the passage of the Biden's tax proposal, which I think is on everyone's mind. So honestly, we don't know, because it all depends whether the Democratic Party is going winning both Georgia Senate seats, which we guesstimate is only about 25%, because you have 50% on winning one, and then times another 50% on winning the second one, so you're down to 25%. If they won, they're going to win 2 seats. Yes, the tax proposal is probably on a smoother journey to get passed. If not, then they may get tailored or change, or it depends on how it goes. So so we don't know. It's going to be a very difficult year for us to do the tax planning because there's so many uncertainties, but we are monitoring the situations and trying to help our clients to plan. Just in case if they get passed, then what should we do this year for the next 41 days? Thank you very much.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. And Melissa, Cindy, and Ralph, also thank you so much for answering those questions. If you do have more questions for them, their information, contact information is going to be available on the event website at the Hong Kong Association. A couple quick messages for you before we go. We have a basic membership special here. Membership offer is a buy 1 year, get 1 free. It's a great deal for all members and non-members. If you sign up or renew your membership within the month of November, you will enjoy a buy 1 get 1 free offer. That means if you're an individual member, you get 2 years at 1 year's fee, $40. And if you're a corporate member, you get 2 years free, 2 years membership at 1 year's fee for just $200. It's a great deal. And then the Young Executive Club's membership ranges from $200, $500, and $1,000. Also, we have some upcoming events for the Hong Kong Association. We're always looking to connect people and businesses in between Hong Kong and Southern California. Here's a list of our upcoming virtual events. You can take a snapshot of this slide. The Secretariat office will also send you the event details after today's webinar. And some great events coming up. So please, please join us if you can. And now that concludes today's webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to meeting you again in our events in the future. Thank you very much to our wonderful panelists, Ralph, Melissa, Cindy, and Dennis. And thank you, Wilson. Stay well and healthy. Have a great holiday. And don't forget to wear a mask. All right. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.